Shalom to everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome everyone to our minyan, especially all of Sarah's family and friends who have gathered this morning to celebrate this special moment in her life. As we near the end of the Torah, Moses is in the middle of his final speech to the Israelites. After 40 years in the desert, and just before Moses' death, he is trying to impart the most important teachings to the Israelites. During this final charge, which comprises most of Devarim, Deuteronomy, the 5th book of the Torah, Moses restates the 10 commandments. We learn the Shema V'ahavta, the declaration that we just recited, along with other key values and Jewish teachings. This Shabbat, we read parashat Ki Tetsei, comprising 74 of the 613 commandments found in the Torah. Some of the mitzvot enumerated this week are very significant. They cover a wide range of subject matters stretching through many parts of life: family relationships, business dealings, construction, and caring for those who are most in need are just some of the topics covered in this morning's parsha. A number of the commandments that we read this morning are very familiar to us, and others in the parsha are lesser known. I actually want to focus on one of these lesser known commandments with you this morning. In Deuteronomy chapter 22, the Torah says, if you're walking along the road and you chance upon a bird's nest, and the mother is sitting over the fledglings or over the eggs, do not take the mother along with the young, in order that you may fare well and have a long life. The conclusion that you may fare well and have a long life is exactly the same phrase that we found just a few weeks ago for honoring one's mother and father in the 10 Commandments. The rabbis have struggled over this mitzvah for centuries. How could this verse, talking about not taking a mother bird with her young, be equal to honoring one's mother and father? Do we not value honoring one's parents in the 10 Commandments more than this verse? Is this trivial act really going to elicit the same reward of a long life? Furthermore, the Talmud labels this mitzvah the lightest, the most insubstantial of all of the commandments in the Torah, probably because it takes very little action to perform. You can scare a mother bird off merely by making a loud noise, or walking close enough to the mother bird will likely force her to fly away. It's still baffling that the same reward is mentioned for honoring one's parents, a commandment that takes a lifetime and often involves money, emotion, and effort without limit. Commentators have concluded that the equality of the reward of both mitzvot is the exact point. The lightest of the commandments is rewarded as much as the weightiest, to teach us that treasure and observe all commandments equally, for the reward of any mitzvah is limitless. Rabbi Yitz Greenberg says through this commandment, the Torah teaches that every act is of immense significance. Therefore, no act is inherently trivial. And he points out that Maimonides writes in his Laws of Repentance that every person should consider himself or herself as perfectly balanced between good and bad, and the world as perfectly balanced between good and evil. The next action you do, however trivial, can tilt you and the whole world to the side of life or to the side of evil and death. Choose life. We are 2.5 weeks away from Rosh Hashanah. In addition to it beginning our High Holy Day period, the beginning of our new year, Rosh Hashanah is also referred to as Yom Hadin, the Day of Judgments. We are taught that on Rosh Hashanah, God is judging the world and our actions of the past year. As we begin reflecting during this month of Elul on the past decisions and actions of the year behind us, and how we hope to live our life in the year ahead, oftentimes we find ourselves focusing on the most significant mitzvot, which are often the most difficult parts of our life to change. While there is immense value in examining these actions in relationship to those significant commandments, this morning we're reminded even those smaller commandments are equally as important. These commandments may seem lesser or insignificant, but the reward for observing them and changing our ways can be the same. The next person we speak to, the next animal we come across, our next encounter with a teacher or a boss can turn the balanced scale in our favor or against us. The Torah is teaching us this morning that those little actions should not be ignored. They are just as important as how we treat our parents. Do not let these opportunities to do good pass you by. Each of our actions to do good will tip the scale in our favor on Rosh Hashanah. I wish everyone a wonderful few weeks of introspection leading up to these high holidays so that we can all grow and become the better versions of who we can be in the year ahead. Shabbat Shalom.